What is up, Starcraft, and welcome to the Purity and Industry map. I'm your host, Bathala SC, and we are here at the third and final match between Bart and Agent X. And let us introduce them once again. Spawning in the 12 o'clock position, it is Bart, the Red Protoss, winning and clutching that second game. Bigay mo na nga to, says Bart a while ago. And on the 3 o'clock position, our Mecha Zerg skin player, Agent X41822N. Agent X for short. I don't know what's the meaning of 41822. Maybe a code or a birthday or a maybe she really is a real life agent. We'll never know. Let's ask her sometime. But we can see here a spawning pool. A full spawning pool. There you go. An early spawning pool, and 6 lings is up for our Zerg player. Wall in at the natural base is the Red Protoss. Is this a good wall off? Let's see that. Yes, that is a good wall off. But fortunately, lings are running, marching, and what is this? Galloping? I don't know. They're technically galloping forward, marching and trying to scratch the metal hides of our advanced shield Protoss Bart. And the wall in is completed. Is it a wall in? Yeah. Oh my god, it's not a full wall! Bart! Not learning from the first 2 games. Another Zealot. Zealot is... the gateway is depowered. Unfortunately, Zealot's gonna be snipe. Probes getting microed there by a Red Protoss player. Oh my god, that is a very sad day for Red Protoss player Bart. This pylon is just an inch off to power up this gateways. So he had the right idea, and now we can see the Zerglings wreaking havoc at the natural line of our Red Protoss player, killing 5 workers now. Is our Zerg trying to micro that lone Zergling? Let it go, Agent X. One Zergling can do so much, and it will be killed by the hands of the Protoss Cell from Ire. And don't worry just yet, more Zerglings to come from our purple Zerg player. Now we can see Stalkers being added to the fray. Cybernetic score being attacked, and there you have it. Stalkers, will they be enough to defend this 7 Zerglings? So yeah, 7 Zerglings. Stalker hitting the long range, and our oh my god, more Zerglings almost, and there we have it. Agent X successful with the infiltration, but that is not enough. Zerg that entered the base. This rush is hitting a steep decline, and our Red Protoss will stabilize at the moment. At the base of our Zerg player, Baneling Nest being added. Another hatch is being produced at the moment. Overlord spotting what's up from the natural, and as you can see, Agent X morphing Banelings, but fortunately and unfortunately, because of the they call this lure from the Zealots defending, Banelings being spotted, and they will be cancelled once again. Now our Zerg Protoss player is in a very good position despite taking some damage in the mineral line. 24 for the worker, 26 now for the worker of the Protoss player. And for Zerg, she is trying to create more army in case there would be a counter attack courtesy from the Zerg, but that is non-existent as of yet. And there we have it. Banelings at the front, Zerglings being made once again. Zerg trying to posture at the middle. Don't remove your units, Mr. Bart! A Ranma is gonna go there! No! Banelings crashing through this force field and Sentry. Sentry buying some time with the force field. Zerg killing Stalkers, 3 Stalkers and Zealot. And she will not be successful. More Banelings being morphed. An auto-rallied pack of Zerglings almost getting seen by the Protoss player here. If the Protoss will not have enough energy for another force field or another warp in, he will be in grave danger. Good decision making by Bart, blocking the middle and completing the setup. And there's a boss, but it wasn't enough. And the gateway was sniped once again. Sentry at the front, tanking some damage. Good shield battery placement. And more Banelings to come. This is a Baneling slugfest trying to destroy this Protoss base. And the more Agent X is trying to create space for his opponent, for her army, the more she will lose in the long run, because our Zerg player is only on 2 bases. That is not a good sign when you're against a 2-basing Protoss. Baneling is at the front, trying to crash forward. One Baneling hit away is this warp gate, and the gates of Protoss will be open once again. Will our Zerg player, be successful? Will she tatagumpay ba siya? Will she be successful enough to kill this Protoss player? And at the main base, Oracle harassing the mineral line of our Zerg, killing 7 drones before dying to the Queen's Spines. Acid Spines. That's the first time I saw this. Acid Spine deal 9 damage. And it's a rage of 8. Now let's continue the attack. Zerglings trying to kill this Warp Gate, and she will not continue to do so. She will retreat, wagging its tail, they call this, hiding her Zergling tails behind, hugging her Zergling tails behind her legs. And we will now transition into a more normal game. But speaking of normal, I don't think that is the plan of Mr. Bart. Immediately transitioning to Stargate carrier production. Zealots being sent at the front to check. Oracle passing by, killing Zerglings. I don't think Zerglings is a good target. Yes, Banelings may do. They're very costly, gas intensive units. Queen being pulled. A drone is destroyed by the lasers. Zerglings trying to hunt this 3 Zergling. Will our red Protoss player recall this? No, I don't think he won't, but he will succeed to let them live at the moment. Now, there is a big push coming up from our red Protoss player. Will this be the killing blow that we'll be waiting? No, it won't, because now we can see that our our Protoss rather, is transitioning to his third base. 20 worker on the second base, 16 here. Bart, I'd suggest you transfer. And speaking of transfer, wrong timing for the transfer is our Protoss player with Agent X trying to run by 2 links, but that was a lucky transfer from our Protoss player. Now we can see that there's still more probes to transfer here. Oracles continuing to harass, but 3 queens will easily clean that up. Zerglings being shift queued to attack this area. And carriers has arrived. So now we have 2 carriers, 1 carrier in the production. So it's not yet cute. It's not yet added to the 1A army of our red Protoss player. And as we can see, Bart posturing at the supposed third base of our Zerg player. Mutalisks being added to the fray. Spine crawler and spore crawlers added, but that is not enough. This is a very scary army, and now we can see the clash. Zerglings at the front charging against Zealots. Force field being placed. Carriers dealing a lot of damage. Zerglings finding their targets. Banelings popping out, almost killing those Zealots. And the Mutalisk doesn't have any firepower here. They will be decimated easily by this Stalker carrier force. Our Zerg player has to leave this base, sack up this base for the meantime. Spore crawler trying to attack as much interceptors that they can find, but it's now destroyed. Drones being pulled, Queens and Mutalisks to defend this attack from the Protoss players, but is it enough? Will we see the end of our Protoss for a Zerg player? Zerg player holding carriers, harassing, killing a lot of Queens. This drone micro from our Zerg will clean up this. Just in time for the Corruptors to pop out. Carriers being sniped. Slow zone being in favor for a Zerg player. 1 carrier is dead. Another carrier will die. Bart. There you have it. As we can see, while there is action happening, Mutalisk harassing the third base of our Protoss player. 1 carrier, will it be enough to defend this? Harassment being done by our 5 Mutalisks. And I think it will with the help of these shield batteries. Don't waste your Mutalisk. 3 Mutalisk remains, 1 remain, and all are destroyed. Corruptors flying away, almost killing this carrier. 3 more carriers from the let's see the unit stat. There's 4 carriers, 4 stalker for the Protoss player. Zealots being added to tank some shots in the middle, I mean for the ground army, but there's a lot of Zerglings to clean up these Zealots at the moment. Some wasted army supply there by our Protoss player. Production wise, Templar archives added and Corruptors being added as well. So our Corruptor count is at 7. So now the Zerg has a is now experiencing another reset. So we can see here Caustic Spray being casted to this pylon. I don't think that's a good choice. That's a wasted opportunity. She should have just sniped this Nexus. And while we're at it, Zergling run by once again. But the defending army is there, cleaning off this Zergling attack. Worker count, it is a close 32 and worker count, it is a slightly ahead Protoss with 55 against 42. Worker killed is a 31 and 32 close count. Spore crawlers being added. Corruptors guarding the front just so there will be no carriers, but I don't think the Zerg player should be waiting, because the more time she waits in this battle, the more the carriers and Archons will grow. 2 more Corruptors being added, plus 2 air weapons and shields for the Protoss being researched at the moment. Probes being warped once again. Oversaturated 25/16 economy from our red Protoss player, you can expand now here. I don't think the Zerg can do anything about taking another expansion because you have a slightly mobile, slightly very powerful Protoss army. So what will be the choice for our Zerg player because of the reset of the third base? Our Zerg player trying to cope up and see what she can do with the 50 drone disadvantage up against 18, now 21 probe advantage from the red Protoss player. So this is looking and developing to be a great death ball. Maybe a mothership added will be will complete this death ball. We can, as we can see, or maybe some colossi. So our game will now end in a stalemate. A zealot run by, checking if there are units. I mean expansion at this lower right of the Zerg. In the purity side of the map, Bart just chilling around, microing here and there. And there you have it, another expansion is up. And now we can see it is a 4 base versus 4 base matchup, which is not good for a Zerg player because the Zerg has to have at least +1 mining or operating base in comparison to his or her Protoss and Terran opponent just to be matched in the production cycle and setup and as well in army trading scenarios. Now, Overseer and Infestation Peak being added, Zerg Flyer Carapace being researched, and another Spine Crawler. Look at the income tab. Very high income, mineral flow and gas flow from our Protoss player. And I think the Protoss is just waiting for his, what do you call this? Detection? I don't know. There's nothing at the production tab as of yet. Pathogen glands being researched for more energy, and that is a lot of banelings, but I don't think that would be a good choice when you're up against Archons, because Archons will just suck up all those baneling hits. And we can see now Bart deciding it is time. We will now end this battle. Banelings popping all the zealots, all the Archons at the red, technically red, but all their shields are lost. Zerglings being killed, and we can see that this supposed forward third base will be destroyed once again. Protoss backing up, more Zerglings being morphed, and what will be our Zerg player gonna do? Baneling eggs being killed one at a time. Fungal is now released. Corruptors are clumped up, and when you clump up your air units, what is the best way to destroy them? It is by Archons. GG is called. Agent X from a 1-0 lead. Not quite happy, but wishing the opponent good luck for the next game. It was, I mean, that's what I think, but she's still gracious in defeat. A good match between the two players. Mr. Bart, very lucky to have been given the chance to play for this third match, and clutching it for the win is your red Protoss Bart with a 2-1 victory against Agent X. And that is your PvZ series of the day. Thank you for watching, guys, and we will be casting 2 more matches from the round of 16, and we'll be entering the round of 8. There's a lot of players. And yeah, once again, I'll be reminding you to wear your mask, stay hydrated, stay at home, and play some Starcraft, and I will see you on the battlefield. Goodbye.